like that you're saying I have a gift of prophetic dreams, but I think and that may be true, but I think what's going on is that I've been every night asking to remember my dreams before I was even on this kick of prayer with you or thinking about God. I just wanted to remember my dreams. Maybe God would communicate with anybody in their dreams, but doesn't want to send a message if their person's going to forget it. You have to you have to do it before you get out of bed, replay your dream, or even in the middle of the night, because the dreams will fade immediately. So if even if God sent you a message in your dreams, I think you're very likely to forget it. Plus, I've been practicing interpretation of dreams. So the symbols that the dream language is in, I'm a little more attuned to decoding them. So I don't know if it's a gift or it's like a muscle that I built. So then in theory, you could do that too by just writing down your dreams. The other thing I wanted to share with you, which is going to blow your mind, and I don't talk about it much, and I don't hold much stock in it, but you probably will. So many years ago, I was living in Manhattan, and I was working for a guy named Dan. You ever heard of him? He's a very famous author. He wrote a book about. I'm at his apartment. It was like a gathering of his, various followers, and he was talking about some grandiose thing. It might have been like some kind of economic system, some way that he could gain power in the name of helping people. And I'm sitting there and I felt two horns growing on
No,
my head.
no, you didn't.
And I'm like,
Are you being serious right
I'm
now?
so, I never talk about it. I don't even think about it. I'm like, this is not good. This is not good. And shortly after that, I stopped working with him. But yeah, that happened to me. So was that my subconscious sending me a message? Was that his attempt to recruit me into demonhood? I don't know. But I am glad I didn't stick around with that guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this certainly has meaning, Jordan.
And
And
oh, I should say, in case anyone watches the video, I'm not libeling Daniel, not calling him a demon or a demon worshiper. He never said anything like that. I'm just relating a story. So let's make that clear.
yeah, first thing, thank God that you got out of there and that you stopped working with him or whatever
Yeah,
that relationship
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Lord have mercy. And second, yes, I believe that if you had continued working with him or having an ongoing relationship of any kind with him, that yes, the devil would have had you. The devil would have had you.
I mean, one of the signs was that he wanted to create this, I think it was like a different currency, kind of like Bitcoin or something. I can't remember exactly. And there was a bunch of NYU students who came up with the system he had been envisioning. And I thought, Daniel, this is great. We can work with these people, help promote them to your community and get this thing going. And he was angry because he wanted to be in control of it. And there were a few other events where I'm like, oh, he's more like he even grabbed French fries off my plate at lunch. So I'm like, oh, this is a person who is greedy. Like he may be using the language. I mean, even part of him may be trying to do good in the world, but he really mainly wants power for himself, which I totally get. I think a lot of us or all of us want that. But I think that the devil horns were easy. I easily read that sign even without believing in God because I'm like, this is a guy who is not pure of heart. I don't want to use my skills to help someone who is just looking for their own gratification. So
Your purity of heart was what saved you.
yeah.
Your life would be immensely different right now if you had stayed. Um, that was the devil's invitation to you to be his. And once you're his, it's real hard to get out. His grasp is tight, and he's infinitely smarter than we are. Because you have to remember, Lucifer started as an angel. So he has, and angels have an intellect where they instantly know everything in a second. They don't have to think to acquire information. They just know. It doesn't matter if it's They know every single language that there is on earth. They are completely fluent in every single language. They just simply know everything because their intellect is so much higher than a human's. They don't have to process information. They
Let
don't
me
have
ask you this. If you ask God for something like, give me a sign in my dream about where to live, and you see a cactus fall over as I did, are you saying that there's some rule in your religion where if I ask God for something, the devil can't answer that question because that would imply the message was coming from God?
he can, but here's the thing. Devil has to get permission from God to tempt souls. He has to
Okay.
get permission from God. And I don't think when you're in these preliminary stages, even though you're very far advanced already in some sense, this early on, I don't think God would allow the devil to sow confusion in you like that.
I see.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Once you become fully conscious of God's existence and his love for you and you've surrendered and accepted him, that's when he's going to say, "Okay, sure, devil, you can tempt him. You can try and sow confusion." But at that point, you're going to be you're God's. And if
So in other words, your spiritual muscles are more buff, so
exactly
you can take that on. But
right.
if you're a newbie, then that wouldn't be playing fair.
Correct. Because yeah, the devil has to ask permission for every time he tempts a human soul. He has to get permission from God. And most of the time, God will grant it in order to cultivate and strengthen our virtue or our faith or our prayer life. It's always for a reason and for our benefit. But he's not gonna allow the devil to infiltrate and impersonate, though he can, to confuse you in the beginning stages. Because at this point, God just wants you to become aware of him, love him, give everything to him. So he's not going to allow the devil to interfere before that is reached. But you know, once you come to the point of full surrender and full belief, and you go down that path, then yes, you can likely expect the devil to do everything he can to
I think
separate you from God.
you see that in spiritual with there's a book autobiography of a yogi, and there's this, big push in spirituality to gain what they call siddhis, siddhis, like powers, like dream dream predictions or reading people, like this certain belief that you have these powers. And these individuals often get tempted to use that in order to get female followers that they can then, have relations with,
Right.
or
Right.
get power or get money. And so you see so many stories of gurus who might have had something in the beginning and may have developed powers, but then they're easily seduced into what I would say the third eye fascination. Um, and so, I'm glad early on I learned about that distinction, which may be why I didn't follow, why I'm cautious about how to use prophetic dreams because it's so easy to, whether you call it the devil, the ego, the mind, it's so easy to, especially if we don't feel God's love, to be like, I need to feel love somehow. So maybe I can use these powers to make me feel loved. And,
Yeah.
like, I think that's the path to ruin, as you would say.
Mhm.
So I'm grateful that I haven't been seduced by that yet.
No, thank God. Again, I think your purity of heart is what saved you there.